Hey, how are you?
Hello, Tyler.
Hey, come on in.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good, good.
Yeah, well, welcome. Thanks for coming.
Yes.
Thanks for coming in to visit. This is the office. This is my space where, get a lot of work done, obviously, during the school day. Try to excuse the mess, obviously. It is a working environment.
Yeah.
So on the walls, I have a lot of artwork from Sideshow, some stuff that isn't Sideshow, obviously. Most of it's comic-based, obviously, but a couple here from The Last of Us, the video game, which is my favorite game kind of all time. So from the first one and from the second one, everything else is comic-based. This started, so we're at a new school campus. We used to be at a different campus, but I guess pretty much when we came up to this campus, so only around 2018, maybe 2019, started, and I was in a different office at the time. But then when we renovated this building, decided to put the collection here. Nice. And so when we were drawing out the kind of plans for the building, I had that idea in my head that I wanted to be able to put shelving and where I wanted to put the shelving and that kind of stuff. So so about 2018, 2019.
Okay. Yeah. Which piece came in here first?
Which piece came in first would be, I suppose, probably the side. No. First piece oh, that's a good question. So all my cabinets are custom built. I had them all built. Same carpenter has built them all for me with the LED lighting and the spaces. And then, like a lot of people, I've had some of the drawers put in, and so this is where I can keep all of my different switch outs and things. And so I've got drawers under a lot of the cabinets. I've also, in my secretary's office, I also have a bunch of drawers and things where I keep a lot of my switch outs. So I've got 3 different drawers over there in her office. Well, she's fine. She doesn't mind keeping that stuff for me. Singapore's quite humid, and so I keep these dehumidifier boxes in all of them. Yeah. And so,
wow, that's nice.
It's a nice way to be able to switch stuff out quite quickly and keep them handy.
I love the drawers. I really love the drawers.
Yeah, they work well. So I've got spaces where I can add some more as well. So actually, these ones were added later. So the carpenter came back and put them in. So I can add some more a little bit later if I need to. Dehumidifier is going all the time just to try to keep the humidity level down. Again, being in Singapore is a bit of a challenge. And then most of the stuff, as you know, is Spider-Man based. Although as new pieces come in, I am running out of room. And so that's why you'll see, pieces like this that are obviously from Tombstone, the movie, don't have anything to do with Spider-Man, but at the moment that's where they are because they've been coming in and I don't have anywhere else to put them at the moment, and I haven't had time to get in and rearrange things. And so so down here, both XM pieces, Red Hulk and Captain America. I do pick up CGCs or other comics, again, to kind of add to the environment within all the displays. But because I've been moving pieces around, not all of the artwork at the moment is tied to what's in the cabinet. And so He-Man, for example, down there, that Tweeterhead piece on Battle Cat, there is a He-Man piece, a CGC that's down there in the cabinet, but there's also Spider-Man pieces that are there. And so all I do to change them out is I just use the double-sided Velcro.
Yeah.
That 3M double-sided Velcro I put on the back of the CGC and on the cabinet, and then I can take them off and put them up and change them around. But I haven't got around to doing that at the moment. So. Yeah, so in the original office, I had maybe 4 or 5 pieces just on normal shelves, right? And then when we renovated this building and put together this office space, the shelving behind me would have been the first one.
Okay.
And then the one over here in the corner, and then the last one was this one here. Miles Morales. My son's name is Miles, and so that's one of the reasons I really got heavily more into the kind of statue collecting was when my son was quite young and Miles Morales. But more XM pieces here, and of course sideshow pieces as well. And then always trying to find cute little pieces from different companies to bring pieces up.
Normally, how do you arrange this pieces?
So I do try to create stories if I can in the cabinets, or put pieces that kind of go together if I can, but not everything at the moment goes together. So I probably wouldn't have that Spider-Man with Rhino in the same cabinet at the moment, but that's kind of how they fit as well. And so running out of space, it's trying to put everything on display and pieces together, but I do have that bit of a problem now where I'm putting more and more pieces in storage. And then having switched them out kind of that way as well.
Biggest challenge so far when creating this entire collection room or office/office?
Yeah, I think space is the challenge for everybody.
Yeah.
Keeping and kind of grouping and having enough space to be able to group them in different ways. So even now thinking, because I have all the samurai stuff here on this side, but that real estate that it takes up on the top of that shelf, I used to have a bunch of Spider-Man stuff there, and I'm thinking I might put Spider-Man back, which is why you'll see the artwork that's behind it is Spider-Man, because that's where I had a lot of the Spider-Man stuff on that shelf. But because those, again, the XM pieces for the Samurai line are so big, it's hard to put them into any of the cabinets to create any kind of an environment within those spaces. So still playing around with it. But now what happens is, as you'll see when you look at the collection, of course, is that some of the stuff doesn't really go, right? So behind me, you've got some Tombstone pieces that are kind of stuck in there with some Spider-Man stuff. So yeah, space is the issue. Some of the XM pieces here with the Samurai line. As I was saying before, I did have this as a Spider-Man display, which is why the Spider-Man artwork is there. Jaws is just because who doesn't love Jaws? And this is from the artist, Victor Garduno. Yeah. He does some great work, and the Spidey over there on the wall is Victor's work as well. He does some nice stuff. And then the Queen Studios Mark I Iron Man, which came in just recently. Didn't know where else to put it, so he's just kind of there at the moment because I wanted to get him out of the box. I do have some other XM Samurai pieces on pre-order, so on the way. So that Iron Man will have to come out of there eventually, and we'll continue that. Again, more Marvel stuff. I really like these smaller Queen Studios 1/10 pieces because I think they fit in there really well with the quarter scale stuff, because again, the Wasp and Ant-Man can shrink and grow, and so XM line with Samurai. I'm not a DC fan really at all. Sorry to DC fans, but that's not my thing. But I love the art style of it, and it's unique and it's different. And I like the idea of Samurai in different formats to begin with. And so being able to draw in something a little bit different with that line really intrigues me. And so I've started collecting some of them. I don't have a lot of them. I do have a couple more on pre-order as well. Excuse the mess here. Again, pieces that don't obviously go together, Moon Knight, Clint Eastwood, and this piece here. But again, things like this, you know, Clint Eastwood is, you asked me earlier what piece I would take in a fire, and I said XM Scorpion, but actually this piece I would have to take, because growing up when I was a kid, Clint Eastwood was my father's favorite actor.
Oh.
And the only time I was allowed to stay up late at night and drink Coke was if a Clint Eastwood movie was on. So my dad and I would watch the film. We'd eat smoked oysters, cheese and crackers, and I'd drink Coke and he'd drink beer, and we'd watch Clint. So, you know, I've got all of the Clint Eastwood VHS movies, and then when we moved to DVD, I bought all of them in DVD, and now I've got them all digitally as well, downloads. And so this was painted by Saul Alvarez, who is a fantastic painter in the US. He lives in Florida now. He's got a couple other pieces of mine as well that he's going to paint for me. So yeah, I'm hoping Ralph Sutter is the guy who sculpted it, and I'm hoping that Ralph finishes the bad and the ugly. So it's from the film.
Nice.
Yeah. Hobgoblin and another Green Goblin behind. This is the XM one. Green Goblin behind. Try to move out of the way a little bit. XM's Black Cat. Now I'm in a school, of course, and you might be wondering why I don't have more female characters. That might be, well, because I work in a school, and a lot of female characters are drawn and sculpted in very suggestive clothing. And so it's hard to find sculpts and depictions of female characters that are acceptable for an office environment and a school environment, right? And so she's kept to the side, because I don't know if you're familiar with the XM Black Cat, but if she was front on, she's a bit revealing there. Another Venom, of course, that's there based off of the artwork, the CGC in the back. That's another Alpha 3 piece.
Since this is like also / office, I'm actually very curious. When you bring, I guess, kids or even faculty or office mates or colleagues here, or even visitors for the first time, what do they, or how do they react, or what are their reactions?
Yeah, it's usually a bit of a jaw drop, because it's the last thing you expect in the office when they come in. Also the windows to my office, and so I keep the blinds down so I don't get sunlight on the collection, but there is my kind of middle window that stays open during the day. That's also where the kids line up at the end of the day for the buses and things, and so they look in, especially when it's dark outside. You know, it's going to rain in Singapore, it gets a lot of rain. Those clouds can get really dark, and then it's light in the office so they can see in, and so then you see the faces coming up to the glass. But the kids are always welcome to come in, and a lot of them do come in just to chat and see what's new. There's quite a few parents in the school that come through just for a coffee in the morning to see what's new. Most of them are men who have had a childhood with pop culture and comics and film and that kind of thing. And yeah, staff enjoy coming in and seeing it too. I think it's always a nice conversation starter. Yeah. Right? So regardless of what the conversation's going to be about for that meeting, it's a great way to kind of tear down barriers, because everybody has some kind of a link to collecting something as a child or an adult, or some kind of connection to pop culture. And Marvel films and DC films have been huge recently, so everybody has a bit of connection. So it's a nice way to start a conversation. The cable below, I'm not a big fan of cable, but my wife thought that the portrait of Cable kind of looked like me with all of my graying hair. And I have a daughter who's young, and so my wife bought me that for Father's Day. She thought that was, that was
that's
kind of a nice piece for me. So.
That's nice.
Yeah. So not a big fan of Cable, but of course it's a special piece. And then another Alpha 3 piece behind that.
Yeah.
A little Spidey centerpiece here, the only life-size bust I have. Of course, has to be Spidey. Another Alpha 3 piece there, another Alpha 3 piece here. These are SDZ Studio pieces that are being created across that line from that comic cover. Of course, Sideshow in the back. A couple XN pieces here. A little Bowen piece there of Scorpion. Two more Alpha 3 down there.
Yeah. There's pieces here that are quite 1/5.
But yeah, they don't fit at all. So these are Tweederhead He-Man pieces. The rest of my He-Man collection is at home, but I don't have enough space at home, and so there's a couple here.
Yeah.
That, and then these came in more recently, and so everything gets delivered to my office, so I unbox them and put them there. And then I had to have a Darth Vader, simply because Star Wars, but he's really the only character I wanted. But then the Ventress piece looked pretty cool. And again, the colors kind of complement. It's quite nice, and so I picked up that Ventress piece.
One word for you to describe your collection.
Incomplete.
When I was a kid, I was always scared if I'm being called to the principal's office or any school office for that matter, because it only spells trouble. But for Tyler, he has reinvented his office as the head of school, making it a place of fun, inspiration, or just a cozy place to have a chat and coffee and at the same time enjoy Tyler's collection. So thank you, Tyler, for giving me the chance to look at it, enjoy, share it with you, learn from it as well, and at the same time giving the chance and opportunity for me to share it with everyone. Thank you once again, Tyler. And for you guys, if you like this video, click the thumbs up and help me share with everyone. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe to Nchanzplace so I'll have more of these videos and you'll definitely support my channel. And see you in the next video.